A pregnant Chinese woman with a master's degree studying in the United States was reported missing after an alleged attack by her American husband. She has been missing without any news, but her husband was charged by the police as the prime suspect. What exactly happened? Li Mengqi, a 28-year-old Chinese national from Shanghai, graduated from East China University of Science and Technology in Shanghai in 2012 and went to the United States for further studies. She earned her master's degree from the University of Missouri Graduate School and stayed in the U.S. to work after graduation. She and her 24-year-old American husband, Evan Cross, were both students at the University of Missouri. They met shortly after and married in September 2017. In early October 2018, Mengqi gave birth to a lovely mixed-race daughter, Luna Cross, for Evan. The family of three lived a peaceful life in Columbia, Missouri. However, an accident disrupted their tranquility. The timeline returns to October 9, 2019, when Mengqi mysteriously disappeared from home. According to the police report filed by her husband, Evan, around 11:30 p.m. on October 8, Mengqi went to bed as usual. But when Evan woke up the next morning, he found Mengqi was not beside him, and she was nowhere to be found in the house. Her cell phone, tablet computer, and passport were all left at home. However, when Evan discovered his wife Mengqi was missing, he did not immediately call the police or inform anyone at all. During this time, he stayed home playing video games and contacted his mother and friends, but he did not tell them anything about Mengqi's unusual disappearance. It was not until the second day of her disappearance that Mengqi's parents, unable to reach her, asked one of Mengqi's friends to check on her. It was only then that Evan sent a private message call to his mother-in-law, who was far away in China, telling her Mengqi was missing. Afterward, he unhurriedly contacted Mengqi's friends to see if anyone knew her whereabouts. Not until 5:45 p.m. on October 10th did Evan, in a state of confusion, file a police report. By this time, Mengqi had been missing for more than 30 hours. However, a deeper police investigation revealed that after his wife Mengqi's disappearance, Evan was not only not panicked, but he had also driven with their 1-year-old daughter Luna for a total of 8 hours, traveling from their residence in Columbia to multiple other areas. On October 14th, Mengqi's parents traveled to the United States to search for their daughter, but the case still had no progress. During an interview with reporters, when Evan said he hoped his wife would return safely, he repeatedly showed a strange smile, which was truly unsettling. Whatever she's doing, I just hope she's safe, and I really hope that she can, find herself and come back to me and Luna. And we can just have a big, long talk, and that's all we need. But we can work things out. I think she's just confused and maybe scared. I don't know if she felt alone, but I just really want her to come back. The police have not given up on the search for Mengqi's disappearance. They have repeatedly appealed to the public for assistance and asked people to pay special attention to suspicious objects and any unusual circumstances. At the same time, the police reviewed all surveillance camera footage in the local area from October 8th to 11th to see if there was any evidence of Mengqi's disappearance. However, the police ultimately did not obtain any new leads until a month later, when they arrested Evan and announced him as a major suspect in the case. They obtained a piece of powerful evidence to prove Evan had a motive for murdering his wife. The prosecutor released a recording of a conversation between Evan and Mengqi in court. The recording showed that Evan seemed to have extreme dissatisfaction with the marriage and Mengqi. In the recording, Evan repeatedly yelled at Mengqi, "I'm sick of talking to you, you know that? I think you should go back to China. It's a miracle you can stay in the United States. I just want to let you know, I'm going to bury you in the dirt." It can be seen that Evan showed intense emotion and used vulgar language toward Mengqi in the recording. Furthermore, the police unexpectedly discovered on Mengqi's tablet computer that she had sent several photos of their daughter Luna's injuries via email in February. There were also 2 photos and 2 videos on her laptop, the content of which showed bruising on Luna's buttocks. These images were stored in a folder used for backing up mobile phone photos, with the timestamp of February 12, 2019. Someone had also deleted some of the photos. Evan admitted that he had been using the tablet for more than a week before the police obtained it. Afterward, Evan admitted to the police that he had indeed struck his daughter Luna's buttocks forcefully. At the time, Luna was crying constantly, and he hit her just to distract her. His wife Mengqi discovered the bruises when changing Luna's diaper and questioned Evan. Mengqi had wanted to call the police then, but Evan promised never to hit their daughter again, giving him another chance. The police ultimately detained Evan at the local jail on 2 felony counts, including child abuse and endangering the welfare of a child, and set a high bail of $500,000. There are indeed huge unanswered questions surrounding Evan in this case. His failure to promptly report Mengqi's disappearance for over 30 hours confirms that Mengqi's disappearance is certainly connected to him. The police reviewed Mengqi's social media, communication records with family and friends, and bank account records. There is essentially no evidence to suggest Mengqi is still alive, and this case is very likely a premeditated murder. Mengqi's friends were shocked by her disappearance. She claimed Mengqi was a helpful and easygoing person who doted on her child. Moreover, she was a breastfeeding mother who would never leave her child for more than 24 hours. It is impossible for her to have suddenly disappeared on her own, unless something unexpected happened. Based on Evan's cell phone location data, the police found that on October 9th, the day after Mengqi's disappearance, Evan had driven to the Bourneville area. Furthermore, the signal showed Evan had stayed in the nearby Li Mengqi River area for nearly 45 minutes. The police suspected that Evan had disposed of her body in the river after murdering his wife. The police then deployed a dive team to conduct a search and recovery operation near the Li Mengqi River, but they still could not find Mengqi's whereabouts. Evan consistently refused to disclose any information about this prior journey to the police. Finally, without finding Mengqi's body, the prosecutor charged Evan with first-degree murder. The details of this case still await further police announcements, and their daughter Luna is currently being cared for jointly by Evan's mother and Mengqi's parents. Although all signs indicate that Mengqi's chances of survival are very slim, her family still hopes that one day Mengqi might miraculously return safely. The only thing left for us is regret. Regret for sending her to America, huh?